Hey there, Cancer. Welcome to your reading for the week of November 13th. This week, you have this acceptance and eccentric card. You have this wheel. It says endings and beginnings on it. So there clearly could be both or one or the other. We'll have to see what comes up. But the acceptance and eccentric card can just say that you need to accept yourself exactly as you are. And I definitely feel that is good mom advice, right? You're perfect just how you are, according to your mom. And that's okay. So, Cancer, you have the Two of Wands, the High Priestess, and the Five of Cups here. This is your current general energies, this first row. The Two of Wands is about like needing to take the lead on something, and this has been coming up for you for a while. That you could be like taking the lead or doing something in a bigger way, and that will lead to success clearly with the Six of Wands. So this could be about anything. It could be you like working on a business or working on a project or trying to get a better job or whatever. I do feel that it has to do with something about like taking control of your life in some way. So whether that's like work or your health or something else, I think it's going to be different for all of you. But the Two of Wands says we have to try new things. He's standing at the top of his castle. And the story of this card is that he rushed to a finish line and he finished his castle that he's standing at the top of, and he feels like he knows everything. He feels like he knows how everything is going to go in his life, but really he doesn't. Really, he's looking at things from a limited perspective, and that's why he needs to take the lead and get out into the world so he can see that there are other perspectives. There are unique and eccentric ways of doing everything, and he needs to be open to all possibilities. So I kind of feel that the Two of Wands is encouraging you to open up to the world or open up to possibilities. You have the High Priestess, very intuitive time, so I think everybody should really be trusting their intuition. The other thing is, something I think people forget about the High Priestess is she's a card of unlimited potential. She's sitting in front of a temple, but she has no roof over her head, and so this represents her unlimited potential. If she can set her mind to it, she can do it. She even has these 3 stages of the moon on her crown, and it kind of represents the fact that she sees the beginning, middle, and end of everything she enters into before she does it. But she's not necessarily doing this like intuitively. She is visualizing how she wants something to go. So I think it would be a good time for you to practice visualization. And also I think with the High Priestess that we should look into mysteries. If we don't know something, we should research it, dig into it, and figure it out. And so I would definitely do that with the High Priestess. You have the Five of Cups. Definitely time to focus, change your focus. He's grieving the loss of these 3 cups, and he's really grieving the loss of his taste for wine. So he once enjoyed wine, but he drank too much, and now he doesn't like it any longer. So he is sad about losing something that he doesn't even like. And he has these 2 cups behind him, and he will get this bridge in the castle as well if he turns around. So I feel in a lot of ways that this card is saying that it's time for you to release something that you're holding on to that you no longer enjoy, because there's probably something much better coming in for you. You even have the Five of Pentacles right next to it. And Five of Pentacles in some ways is kind of similar, because the Five of Pentacles says do not call attention to your weaknesses. The Five of Pentacles wants you to focus on your strengths. And that's exactly what I would do with the Five of Pentacles, is focus on your strengths. With the Two of Wands, you have the King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles is a card of stability. We have the King and Queen of Pentacles here. So those two can be divine counterparts. A little bit of love here if you want it. It could be like an earth sign. Could be any sign, general reading. But, these two usually are very stable, secure. So you could be attracting a very stable person. I would prefer to see like the Ace of Wands or a little bit of fire coming up here. I like the King and Queen of Pentacles, but it's a little bit too boring. Like it needs like fire. Those two need like more fire to make it more sexy, right? With the High Priestess, you have the Eight of Swords. Yeah, get out of your head. I think you need to trust your intuition for sure. And listen more to your intuition with the Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords is like self-imposed restriction, but like intuitively, I feel this is more saying that you're in your head. So I think this is saying get out of your head. With the Five of Cups, you have the Nine of Cups. Yes, it's like once you're grateful for what you have, once you see those two cups, once you find something new to enjoy, you will have fulfillment. So the Nine of Cups is like wish fulfillment or fulfillment. I just feel general fulfillment here on the Nine of Cups. I'm not really, could this be a wish? Like, sure, but I feel it's more just, generally feeling fulfilled in life and feeling like you're kind of like heading in the right direction. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have the Scales of Balance card. It says, find balance within yourself and things will balance out around you. Yes. You have this Metamorphosis. It says, your inner self is being renewed day by day, so new and better ways can come forth. Didn't we say something about like something better coming in? So you're clearly undergoing a transition or transformation that is leading to something better. You have the Queen of Pentacles, the Knight of Swords, and the Five of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles is about resourcefulness. She's focused on this pentacle. She's not focusing on this rabbit right here. The rabbit can represent fertility and abundance, but it can also represent fears and anxiety. So she is focusing on what she does have. She's not focusing on what she doesn't have, which is exactly the solution to the Five of Cups. So I would definitely embrace the energy of the Queen of Pentacles, being resourceful, tapping into your resources. I think this is true for everyone. All 2024, the Queen of Pentacles came up for pretty much everyone a lot. And so we are in a time where we have to be resourceful. We might not have like the money to do something that we want to do, but there is probably another way we can do something if we think about it. There's a great book by Damon John, The Power of Broke, right? So read it if you don't have money and you want to get started on something, because that book is all about people who started impossible things for free. And that's exactly what I would do here with the Queen of Pentacles. And it's not free because effort costs something, of course, but if you're willing to put in the effort, I think you'll get the result. You have the Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords is like a rushing, hasty energy. I do feel the Knight of Swords is saying like no jumping to conclusions, no rushing your decision making or your thoughts. I do feel there's this energy of kind of needing to slow your thoughts down this week, or kind of like just slow your thinking down in general. I feel this is more talking about thinking, or like where your mind is at, or what you're the things you're thinking about. I don't know. I thought there was more to that, but I guess not. So I would just slow your thoughts down with the Knight of Swords and not rush. I also say with the Knight of Swords that sometimes I feel the Knight of Swords can represent getting a second opinion on something. So if it's not that like someone is trying to be sneaky or anything like that, but like I just get here, if you're spending money on something like expensive, like your car or getting your house fixed or something like that, something expensive, right? I feel that the Knight of Swords is saying that it would be a good idea to like get a couple of people to look at the issue, especially if you're having an issue. Like I said, it's not that with the Knight of Swords that a person is trying to be bad. It's just like sometimes people just don't know a better way of doing things. So you might go to one mechanic and they might be like, yeah, it's going to be $2,000. But you might go to another mechanic who's like, actually, this is the issue. It's going to be $50, right? I'm not saying that that's what it's going to be, but I'm just saying, it's like there might be a person who knows a better way of doing things. And, if anything about money, it's popping into my head that this has to do with finances, I would get a second opinion. You have the Five of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles can represent feeling left out in the cold, but Five of Pentacles, again, like all fives, has very easy solution, and the solution to the Five of Pentacles is to not call attention to your weaknesses. It is to focus on your strengths. So I feel that you need to double down on the things that you're good at and also your strengths in general. With the Queen of Pentacles, you have the Six of Pentacles. Yeah, giving to the right things. We are definitely in a time of analysis, so I think we all need to be analyzing our energy and where we are putting our energy, the things that we're investing in, the things that we're giving to. And we need to make sure that we are giving to things that give back to us, obviously. So I feel that with the Six of Pentacles, that you need to make sure to do that. I also feel that, of course, balance with the money this week. I wouldn't be like paranoid about this. I don't think this is a bad thing. I just think it's saying like don't spend money like crazy at this time. With the Knight of Swords, you have the Five of Wands. Again, conflict, competition. You have 555, by the way, which is, 555 is a big change number, and you have that Metamorphosis card, which is all about a big change. So clearly, you could be undergoing a big change. Five of Wands, like I said, is about learning. These people are using sticks to fight. They're not using swords. So like I said, you might, I just get this feeling that, especially if you're spending money, that there just might be a person who doesn't know a better way. Like I already said. And so I feel like the Five of Wands is saying you might need to go to the competition and go to someone else who knows how to do something differently for cheaper. With the Five of Pentacles, you have the Queen of Cups, which is good. Queen of Cups is you showing up here in a strong position. Whenever you show up as yourself, kind of puts you in a position of power and strength and really allows you to get what you want from the reading. So you're showing up in a strong position. Another very intuitive card, and it seems to me like this is a very intuitive week for you, Cancer, so I would listen to that intuition. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this card that says it's time to release negativity. You also have this card that says take time to breathe out. Yes, definitely. I think it would be a great time. Knight of Swords is too quick. So I think it would be a great time to just focus on slowing things down, processing information, but also not jumping to conclusions. Again, the Knight of Swords gets in trouble when he jumps to a conclusion and he's being too hasty in making a decision or reacting to something or whatever. So it might be a good week to just kind of slow things down in general. You have the Hermit, the Justice card, and the Six of Wands. The Hermit, of course, is about being in hermit mode. The Hermit, he's been through a dark night of the soul, and he's climbed to the top of this mountain, and now he's shining his inner light. So a lot of you have been through some challenges, and now you're probably getting ready, or you are ready to shine your inner light. I always say he has this star in his lantern, and there are some people who believe his feet are frozen at the top of this mountain, and that he could easily put that lantern down by his feet, and he would kind of like thaw out his feet, and he would be able to move forward. So I do feel for a lot of you, this is about forward movement. That's really the message I'm getting. I almost never say that with the Hermit, but it's definitely popping into my head that there's something about forward movement here. Everything about him represents knowledge and wisdom as well. And you also have the King of Swords, which is turning knowledge into wisdom. So I feel for a lot of you that you could be putting the things you've learned into practice. You have the Justice card, a lot of balance in this reading. Like, what was the other card? Didn't you have a balance? Another one? Oh, yeah, Scales of Balance. It says, find balance within yourself and things will balance out around you. Again, taking your time, slowing things down, that's going to be important. The other important thing with the Justice card is cause and effect. We need to pay attention to where we put our energy, and if we put our energy into something and then we get a result, then we should keep doing that thing. It seems to be a very important year for doing that. A lot of people have had similar messages to this in like all the readings I've done so far in 2025. So it could just be one of those years where we really have to pay attention. We really have to look at what's working and what's not working, and we need to double down on what's working. I know it sounds simple, but again, I've worked with 1 billion businesses in my day, believe it or not, and what I would say is that, what I used to do in my old business is that I would literally just tell businesses what they were doing that was working, and they just weren't paying attention. So it was the easiest job ever because literally I could just see what's working, right? And they weren't paying attention. And so you have to pay attention to like where you're putting your energy. Is it working? Is it not? Pay attention to the result and then double down on the good stuff. You have the Six of Wands. Six of Wands is a victory or a big success coming in for you. So I feel there could be a lot of successes coming in at this time. Six of Wands is also a great card of attention. We are in a time of attention, and I keep telling everyone, get as much positive attention as you possibly can, and that will lead to a lot of success, and that's exactly what I would do with that Six of Wands energy. But let's see what's going on for you here, Cancer. And that didn't work. With the Hermit, you have the Five of Swords, the other five. So you have all the fives here for some reason. Five of Swords can represent taking a risk. With the Two of Wands, definitely, I would say it's time to, put yourself out there into the world. The Two of Wands, he's thinking about putting himself out into the world. The Hermit, he has climbed to the top of the mountain, and he is in isolation. I always say that, when you go through something difficult, it's very tempting to stay in isolation because you've been through something difficult. And if you come back to the cold, mean world, then you're opening yourself up again to getting hurt by whatever. I'm not talking about love here. This could be anything. And so I think this is saying it's time to open back up. With the Justice card, you have the Knight of Swords again. So definitely take your time. The Justice card would be weighing up your options. So exactly what I said with the Knight of Swords. You need to look at all the options possible, especially if you're spending money. I this might not be true for all of you, but I think for most of you that part of the reading is going to resonate with. This is something about spending money on something that you probably could do it for cheaper, or there's just a person who knows a better way. So do not accept the first quote you get from, a mechanic or someone working on your home or, whatever it is. It could be anything. And I would look for a better deal. With the Six of Wands, you have the Death card, tons of transformative energy in this reading. We have the Death card, Two Wands even. We have that Metamorphosis card, the Magician at the end. So a lot of you are clearly undergoing a big transformation or change in your life. Death is just, a transformation or a change. We also have the Moon, the two pillars from the Moon show up at the back of the card, and the Sun is coming up between those two pillars. So the Death card can say that you're entering into a Sun period, which is a period of like clarity, fun, happiness, joy, peace, good energy. So this is like a positive transformation. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this Observe card and this Strength card. I feel like you need to observe your own strength. Like you need to look at the things that you've been through and that you have gotten through, because I think seeing how strong you are will help you very easily get through whatever you're going through or whatever you're dealing with right now. And again, this doesn't have to be a bad thing. It's like I tell people all the time to put things into perspective. If you're building a new business or you're building yourself back up or whatever, you're probably a lot stronger than you think based off of past experience, but sometimes we don't pay attention to it. Like I just said, like not paying attention to what works. And so I think if you can see all the things that you've overcome and think about them, you will realize that whatever you're about to do is going to be much easier because you've already done something much harder. You have the Magician, the Hangman, and the King of Swords here. The Magician is about manifestation. He's also a card of reinvention. He has this snake eating its own tail, which is the Ouroboros. And with the Magician, sometimes we don't necessarily have to change, but we do have to reinvent ourselves in some way. It's like we can't stay the same if we want to grow and change, right? We might have to adopt new habits. We might have to adopt new energies or change our energies or work on our energy. We might have to change our environment. The list goes on and on there. But I feel a lot of you could be making changes to align with the energy of what you're trying to manifest. I always pull the card he's pointing to. We're going to say it's this one right here. And it says, show the world the real you. There you go. The Magician is not about changing necessarily who you are, but it could be about you showing who you always have been. But with the Hermit, maybe you've been keeping parts of yourself hidden. This is about becoming more authentic, or you becoming more genuine, which you definitely could be doing here, Cancer. And I feel that will be a good thing. You have the Hangman. The Hangman is about being in Hangman mode, but Hangman is not a bad card. He's hanging in Hangman mode. He's not moving forwards or backwards. He's hanging from the tree of knowledge and wisdom so that he can gain enlightenment. And so, if you have been on pause for a while, then, this is kind of like saying, in the good stuff, it's saying maybe you're finally moving forward, or it's time to move forward because you have all the answers and information you need. So I definitely feel it's like time to move forward. You have the King of Swords. King of Swords is turning knowledge into wisdom. So definitely time to take the things that you have learned and take action on what your education or whatever you've taught yourself. There's also these butterflies behind him, and that Metamorphosis card has a butterfly on it. So I feel this is saying you have changed, or maybe you're just embracing your authentic self in a deeper way. With the Magician, you have the Four of Cups. Can't make this up. The Four of Cups is about ingredients. I think I said something about this in your reading, but it's like it's almost like you're mixing that's what I was saying. You need to look at all the things you've been through, all your experiences, and mix those things together. I always say that this card reminds me of like him trying to manifest a cake. He has the flour, the sugar, the eggs, but he's disappointed because he has the ingredients for success, but he doesn't have the thing he wants. So it's like you actually have manifested everything you need to manifest whatever you're trying to manifest here. But now it's time to mix it all together and pop it in the oven. With the Hangman, you have the Page of Swords, yes. So it's time to be curious. The Page of Swords is all about following your curiosity. If something becomes interested, if you become interested in like an idea or new direction in your life, I would just explore it and see what happens, and ask a lot of questions. You could even ask yourself questions and kind of go from there. With the King of Swords, you have the Queen of Wands. There's the fire we were wanting. Again, not really love reading, but, if you do want love, Queen of Wands would be like passion, seduction. She is my card of seduction, so there definitely could be like a seductive person coming in for you, or, I don't know, you could be the seductive person. You have this harp card. It says great happiness on it. You've been getting these cards of happiness with me, and for some reason I thought you had the Ten of Cups, but again, I would focus on happiness with this energy and focus on being more happy. A lot of people have been getting these cards. I think there's like a lot of stuff going on in the world that is making people not happy, obviously, but we need to like turn the energy around and focus on happiness to bring more happiness to the world. You have this younger woman card. It says dealings or relationships with a younger woman. You have this feather. It says someone you know is undependable and insincere. So I would be careful if you have a weird person in your life. Doesn't even have to be a woman. Could be any gender. But, I would be careful if someone seems, if someone is independable, I think it's obvious, then I would avoid that person. You have this needle and thread. It says a sincere wish granted. So there you go. Some sort of wish coming in for you. You have this arrow. It says you're on the right path regarding some aspect of your life. So love it. I think Pisces also had something about being on the right path. So it could be like a collective water sign energy that the water signs are going in the right direction. You have this lobster. It says financial pinch. Again, whatever you're spending money on. I actually feel like finances look pretty good here. But again, if you're spending money on something, I would get a second opinion. Even if you're like buying something expensive, it's like there might just be a better deal. And that's like what the Knight of Swords is saying. It's like maybe you're thinking about buying a car. And, I get the same energy here. It's like you could be thinking about buying something expensive, but I would look for a deal. I feel like there's something better. Like I wouldn't like be in a rush, right, to spend money this week, especially if you're spending a lot of money, like I said, on a car or, a house or something like that. I just get this feeling of like second opinion or negotiation. Like maybe you need to negotiate or don't accept the first price if you're buying something like a car, right? I feel you could get a much better deal. That's it. So thank you for being here, Cancer. Looks really good, and definitely enjoy your week.